In this video, we will be discussing the reservation process. Once you come on the screen, the buttons are here on the left. At the top part, it has all the different filters, so you can filter just to see if you have it on all. This will show you all your reservations that you have in the system, or you could filter by today's pickups for any vehicles that are due for pickup today, any vehicles that are due to be returned today. Then over here, you also have vehicles that are pending. So these are reservations where the customers haven't paid yet, so the vehicle hasn't been picked up yet. These would be reservations that have actually been picked up, so these are currently in process. And these would be the reservations that have been returned by your customers already. You also have a search feature where you can search for any existing reservation. Now let's go ahead and jump into the fun stuff and create a new reservation. To do that, you want to select your pickup dates. Let's just select the random pickup date. And let's select the time as 12 o'clock in the morning. And let's select the end date, so they're renting his car from the 29th. And they're going to be bringing this back on the new year. Now the pickup location. You can either type in a location or you can select from any existing branches you have if you have branches. This drop-down will show you all your branches, or you can just go ahead and type in ABC Street and a random drop-off location CBE Street. Then you can choose a customer. We already have a customer in our system. We can select that, or you can also click the plus sign here to create a new customer. So you have that option. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and select an existing customer. All their information pulls up, and then you go ahead and click Next. Now, just like with the wizard, you can jump around from one place or one section to the next. So it's all numbered. It's 4 steps in the reservation process. Right now, we are in step 2, available vehicles. You can always go back to the new reservation screen if you need to change anything. Now this will show you all your vehicles that you have available, the available quantity for the vehicle, and just a snapshot of the different prices. If you want to rent this, you can go ahead and click Rent this vehicle. You also have these pencil icons here, which means you can actually still click on that to edit anything if you want to edit the pickup or drop-off dates. So let's go ahead and rent this vehicle. And now you can choose what pricing you want to enforce. If you want to do a daily charge, you can also click in here to change the prices if you want, or leave as is. Change your security deposit. You can change anything that's on the screen. So we can go ahead and just keep it as is. We're doing a daily rental. Customer just wants it for a couple of days. Let's go ahead and rent that. This is the add-on equipment and services screen. This is where you guys will add any extra services that the customer wants. Maybe they want to prepay for their gas. You can go ahead and edit the price if you want to, or you can just add it as is. It adds it to the summary. Maybe you're selling them some form of CDW insurance. You can also just add that or change the price. If you're doing round-trip delivery, you can go ahead and add that here. Round-trip delivery, and then add the price. Let's say we're charging them $100 for that. And then add new. And that gets added to it already. So that changes your total now from $180 for the 3 days to now, with the different extras we've added, we're at $300 total. So that's how you can add some extra add-ons to the order. And then go ahead and hit Next. This is going to be the confirmation screen for the reservation, where it's going to ask you to confirm the pickup date and time. Once again, you can still change any of that with the pencil icons on the right. Click on this to show you a selected vehicle. Click on Equipment and Services. Those are the items that we chose for this particular order. Fuel options. We prepaid for fuel. We took CDW. And we also accepted the road trip delivery. And then if we want to accept this, we can go ahead and click Confirm Reservation. And this will officially create your reservation and move it to pending status. Now we are in pending status. It's going to show pending until the customers actually pay. On the top here, you can see it gives you a snapshot. For the rental fee, that's how much we're charging for the daily fee for the car and all the extra add-ons, but not including the security deposit. Security deposit is a different amount, which you can see below. Okay, so how much has the customer paid so far for a rental fee or for the security deposit? 0. They haven't paid anything yet. And then it shows you what your outstanding balances are for both. So still the outstanding balances are here in red, so the customer is still yet to pay. Here you get to see a summary of the reservation. You have the customer's information, pickup information for the rental, the description of the vehicle, and then this is going to be your invoice. So we're renting this Camry for 3 days at $60 a day. You can always change the price here also by clicking on the pencil icon. You can also change the amounts for fuel insurance and road trip delivery. Anything you can make these changes. You could also change the security deposit at any moment, and once you change any of these fields, that will reflect in your outstanding balance real time. So let's say we increase this price to $80 a day and save that. You would notice now that your outstanding balance has increased to $600. So it's real time and it'll make those changes for you. Once you've done that, now we are ready to go ahead and conclude this rental transaction. So we need the customer to not only sign the contract, we also need them to pay for the rental fee and the security deposit. So what we would do here is send them contract. By clicking on Send Contract, it will now email them the contract to their inbox. So the renter is going to receive an actual rental agreement which they could DocuSign. And then that signature will come back automatically to you, and you're able to just click on View Contract and see it. You're also able to send them a quote, if they insist on seeing a quote. Then now you have 2 sections to pay. Right here you have the Place Security Deposit Hold section. This is for taking payments for the security deposit. So if you want to do that, you can click on here, and it'll give you different options. So you can do a cash payment. You can also request the payment from the customer. So we will go ahead and do cash. Or you can go ahead and request customer. Most likely you will be using the request payment feature because the customer is not in front of you to get the payment. So you just click on request payment, and then the security deposit is $500. So we'll click on this and the customer will receive an email requesting the security deposit to be paid. Now, don't forget with the security deposit, what's going on here is we're placing a hold on their credit card. The money for the security deposit is not actually leaving the customer's bank account because you don't want it to leave their account because you'll pay Stripe fees on that. Every time you run a credit card, the merchant processor charges you a fee. It's 2.9%. You don't want to be paying 2.9% on an amount that you're probably going to end up returning back to the renter. So that's why we place a hold on it instead. And then when they bring back your vehicle in perfect condition, you can just release the hold from their credit card, and then that way you don't pay any fees. However, if there's damage, then you can now take out. So maybe if in this situation they pay us $500, if there's damage to the vehicle, maybe $200 worth of damage, we would be keeping the $200 and we will refund the $300 back to the customer and only pay the 2.9% in fees only on the $200 instead of paying that on the $500. Because, believe me, with scale it starts to add up. So that's how you could request a security deposit, and then same thing with the rental charges. Your daily rental fee here. You just select either cash or to request the payment from the customer. Put in the correct amount, so you could just change this amount and then submit your invoice to the customer and it'll go straight to the inbox. Now, one thing I will tell you is to also make sure that the customers are told to check their spam folder because sometimes the emails go straight to spam. It's not our fault. Unfortunately, it's just the way mail delivery works. We are working on that to make it better, but for now, just make sure you let your customers know that it's a possibility it'll be in the spam folder. At this point, the customer has paid the invoices. In this scenario, we just accepted a cash payment. And you can see it here, it's registered underneath here, where it says Place Security Deposit Hold, you can see $500 was collected. And also where it says Rental Charges, you can see $600 in cash was collected. And you can always click on the 3 buttons here to also issue a refund. You can also edit that amount. If you just want to refund a portion of it, you just click Refund. It'll process that for you. Same for the security deposit. This is where you can also refund the security deposit. Now that you've confirmed if you receive payment, you view the contract, and they have signed the contract. Now it's time to move this into rental status. So then you just click there, and then put the vehicle on rental. It's going to ask you for the starting mileage. You have the starting mileage of the car. Let's say the starting mileage is 10 miles. And starting fuel, we gave them a full tank of gas. Let's say 10. Now here's one thing that you guys need to be aware of. The fuel goes from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being empty and 10 being full. 5 being a half tank. So you would just put in however much fuel they have in the car and then hit submit. So it's now successfully updated, and the vehicle is currently on rental. Let's assume that now is January the 1st at 12 a.m., and they are bringing back the car. So how do we close this out? So you would just go here, and then click on Returned. That will start the return process. It would ask you for the starting mileage. Starting mileage was 10. Let's say the customer brought it back with 210 miles. Starting fuel was 10. Let's say the customer failed to fill it up and brought it back at 1. So in this instance, the car came back with no damage. Only thing wrong was they did not fill up the gas tank. And let's say we want to charge them $50 for that and hit Submit. And so now at this point, you can see here it's added a damage cost to the total of $50. Now we can go ahead and close this out. The $50 we want to take from the security deposit. So what I would do in this scenario is click there, and then you should refund for $450 and hit Refund. And so that means I kept $50 and I refunded $450 to the customer. And that is it. You can double check the status here and make it sure that it's fully returned. So the rental is officially over. If the customer wants to extend, you can switch it back to on rental, then click Create Extension. I hope this helps. Thank you, and see you on the next video.